How you doing today? Today we're going to do a short video on the safe jacking procedures for a car using a floor jack. Our victim today is a 2000 Toyota Avalon. The Avalon is pretty reflective of what most cars are like. There's usually a jacking point specifically for this purpose, and we'll take a quick look underneath the car so you can see where the front jacking point is on the car. So you look down underneath the front. In this case, it's right dead center. There's a cradle that holds the engine and transmission, and most cars will have that type of a cradle. And there's a hump in the center there that the jack is going to be sitting on. Now, we'll show it again after we have the car up, just to make sure that we got a good picture of it. So we're positioning the jack under that spot. Take up the slack and just confirm it is in fact in the right spot, that it hasn't slipped at all. Okay, it looks fine. So then we'll proceed to lift it as high as the jack will go. There we go, that's at the full height now. We're going to insert our safety stands on either side. Most cars of this nature, unibody cars, will have a lifting spot on the side of the car on the rocker panel that was designed for lifting the car with your floor jack, or your little jack you get with the car if you get a breakdown on the side of the road. So if you glance underneath, there's a pinch weld that runs the length of the car, and there's usually a notch similar to this, which is where your jack would go if you were changing your flat tire. So we would like to put our safety stand in that same position. Mine are quite tall, they're just barely clear. Most safety stands aren't quite this tall. Another very good location would be right here on this frame member, particularly here where this little outrigger goes to the side. That's a really nice strong spot to support a car. But fortunately my jack stands are a little too tall to get under there. So we'll do both sides. Okay. Oftentimes there'll be brake lines and fuel lines and whatnot running along the edge of these rails too, so you got to be careful that you don't get them pinched by your jack stand. Okay. Then we'll set the weight down on the jack stands and confirm their position, that nothing has slipped or shifted once the weight comes on. So there we go. The jack is still in place. We're going to confirm now that nothing has moved. Okay. So the stand is in fact in the correct place. Nothing has changed there. Check that the legs of the stand, sometimes they'll start to lift up off the ground if the car is not quite centered right. Obviously that's not acceptable. Also, particularly in warmer climates, warmer days, the jack stands will tend to make holes in your driveway. So sliding a piece of scrap wood in between on a hot day would be a good idea. You'll have a driveway full of holes from doing this job. So I hope that's helpful. That's the front side. We're now going to go around to the back and do the same with the back. Okay, so now in the back we have a similar lifting point. It's kind of in the same spot you would find the differential on a rear-wheel drive car. It's right in the center of the cross member that holds the suspension system. In this case, it's just next to that piece of exhaust pipe, right above where the saddle for my jack is. That's designed specifically for lifting the car. So we'll get it pumped up. It's not much room to swing the jack handle here for the first dozen pumps, since the front's already up in the air. But as it goes up, you get a little bit more space. So once again, we'll get this jacked up. We'll place our safety stands under the side and confirm that everything is where it belongs. I don't know if you can see the little wheels on the trolley jack. As I'm pumping it, the wheels are rolling forwards. Make sure they do roll freely. Obviously a gravel driveway or something would be a bit of an issue here. You'd have to lay a board down for the wheels to be able to roll. If it doesn't, it might slip off the jack. Okay, there we go, it's all the way up. One jack stand in place. Okay, second jack stand in place, and same thing, we're going to confirm that the stands are bearing the weight properly before we pull the jack out from under the car. If you're working with somebody, give them the heads up that it's going down so they don't get on their foot. Okay, so just double check our jack stands. Also confirm the front one hasn't shifted at all during the procedure of doing the back. It all looks well here. Okay. Underneath. Oh, it looks like this one's not bearing any weight yet. I guess my driveway's not very level. Let's check the other side. Yeah, this side's bearing all the weight, so I'm going to let the jack down further. All is well. You now safely proceed to take the wheels off, and if you have to go underneath the car, remember, never go under a car that doesn't have safety stands. Jacks by themselves are not safe. They have been known to fall over and lose the fluid and drop suddenly. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I hope that was helpful.